I was at work, bored and clicking through spreadsheets, when my phone buzzed. I glanced down, expecting another calendar notification or maybe a group chat about lunch. But instead, it was a text message from a number that just said blocked. No digits, no contact name. And the message? It was short. Do not answer your phone. That was it. No explanation, no punctuation, just a command. I squinted at the screen, confused. My first thought was spam. Maybe some scammer figured out a new way to mess with people. But why tell me not to answer? That wasn't how phishing usually worked. I showed it to my coworker, Dan, who gave it a shrug. Just ignore it, he said. Creepy, yeah, but probably just some bot. I locked my phone, tossed it face down on my desk, and tried to focus. But not 5 minutes later, it buzzed again. This time it was a call. The screen lit up with unknown caller in big white letters. I froze. The text flashed in my mind again. Do not answer your phone. It was probably just coincidence, right? I mean, people get spam calls all the time. But something about it made my stomach twist. I stared at the screen until it stopped ringing. No voicemail, no follow-up. Then another text came in. Good. You listened. I stood up so fast, my chair rolled back and bumped into the filing cabinet behind me. Dan gave me a look. You all right, man? I nodded slowly, slipping the phone into my pocket. Yeah. Just need to make a call. I didn't, though. I went to the break room and stood there, heart racing, waiting for the next message. For 10 minutes, nothing happened. No new texts, no calls, nothing. By the time I left work, I had mostly convinced myself it was someone playing a joke. Maybe a friend spoofing a blocked number. Maybe a dumb coincidence. Then I got home, and my landline was off the hook. I hadn't used it in years. I only kept it around because the cable package was cheaper with it included. But the receiver was off the hook and resting on the side table. I hadn't touched it. No one had been in my apartment. I lived alone, and my front door was still locked with the chain in place. I stared at the receiver, then slowly placed it back into its cradle. The phone rang. I jumped back so hard I hit the wall. It was the landline ringing now. I stared at it as if it had grown fangs. Then I reached out with a shaking hand and looked at the caller ID. Blocked, not blocked number, just blocked. Like the text. I didn't pick it up. It rang 4 times. Then silence. I backed away, grabbed my cell phone, and texted my brother. Hey, weird stuff happening. Can you call me? He replied almost instantly. Calling now. My phone lit up with his name and contact photo. But something felt off. I hesitated. I let it ring. When it stopped, another message arrived. From blocked. Good. That wasn't your call to answer. I stood there, frozen, staring at those words. They shouldn't have made sense, but they did. On a level I couldn't explain, I knew I had just avoided something. I bolted my door, locked all the windows, and closed the blinds. My apartment felt wrong, like something unseen was watching, listening. I didn't sleep well that night. Every time the pipes creaked or the fridge hummed, I jolted awake, thinking it was my phone vibrating again. But it didn't. Not until the next morning. 6:13 a.m. Today you will be tempted. I stared at the message for a long time. I didn't know what to do. I didn't even know who to report it to. The police? What would I say? A blocked number texted me spooky stuff? I called in sick to work and stayed home. I turned off all the phones and buried my cell under a couch cushion. For most of the day, nothing happened. Until 4:37 p.m., there was a knock at the door. I looked through the peephole. It was Jamie. Relief flooded my chest. I opened the door, and he stepped in. "Dude, you all right?" he asked, frowning. "You didn't answer my calls." I nodded slowly. "I got weird texts and calls from a blocked number, telling me not to answer the phone." Jamie's expression changed slightly. "When?" "Yesterday at work, then again last night." He nodded once. "You got your phone on you?" "Yeah, it's in the couch." He moved to the living room and grabbed it. As soon as he picked it up, the screen lit up. I didn't recognize the number this time. It was a full string of digits. But I knew somehow. I knew it was them. "Don't answer," I said. Jamie looked at me. Then he answered, "Hello?" There was silence. Then Jamie's eyes widened slightly. "Who is this?" he asked, voice sharp. He listened. Then he went still. After about 10 seconds, he hung up and handed the phone back to me. "That was weird," he said. "They just said my name, over and over, but not in a creepy way. Almost like they were reminding me of it." I didn't like the way he said that. Then he asked, "Did you call anyone back?" I shook my head. "Good," he said, but his voice sounded strange, almost mechanical. I frowned. "You okay?" Jamie smiled, but it wasn't his smile. His eyes didn't match it. "I think I'm going to stay here for a while," he said. "Keep you company." And that's when I noticed it. He hadn't blinked. Not once since stepping inside. That night, I didn't sleep again. Jamie sat on the couch, watching TV, barely moving. I offered him food. He said he wasn't hungry. Offered him water. He waved it away. Around midnight, I decided to test something. I called his phone while pretending to be in the bathroom. It didn't ring. It went straight to voicemail. When I came back out, he looked at me. "Bathroom okay?" he asked. I nodded, trying not to show anything on my face. Then my cell buzzed again. "That is not your brother." My lungs locked up. I stood in the doorway holding the phone, shaking. Jamie, or whatever was pretending to be him, turned to face me. "You weren't supposed to read that," he said. But it wasn't Jamie's voice anymore. I ran. I didn't even grab my keys, just bolted down the hallway and pounded on the neighbor's door until they let me in. I called the police. By the time they arrived, my apartment was empty. No Jamie, no signs of forced entry, just a phone on the coffee table. It wasn't mine. It was an old flip phone, screen cracked, and on it was a single message. "Do not answer your phone.